Hey everybody, how are you today? Happy Monday! Confessions of a Book Coach here, Melody Ann from Author Nation and the author of The Devil's Daughter. I've been wondering how you're doing. You watching this? I'd love to know what you're working on, how it's going. So, at some point, drop me a comment, let me know how it's going. And if you're joined live, let me know. I'd love to hear. All right, it is week 11 for me of this journey towards publishing The Devil's Daughter. And this week I reviewed book promotion sites. What's out there. You got to figure out what's out there, and then you have to figure out what's right for you. So that's what I did. So I reviewed about 20 book promotion sites to figure out what was best for me. And I'll get into that in just a second. Really quick beta reader update. I'm waiting for one beta reader, which is fine. It's past the deadline a little bit, but I'm actually not ready to revise my book. And so I have time to wait. And that's my choice. So if I were in another place and I had this really strict deadline and I had to get like everything done in a certain time, then I would have to be revising it right now, and that's life. But I'm not, so I have time to wait. So I'm going to wait. So that's where we are for beta readers. So book promotion sites. So just like book promotion sites, what do? They have lists of readers. So they have a list of people who love romance, and they have a list of people who love cozy mysteries, and they have a list of people who like nonfiction books and a list of people who like memoirs. And what they do is they charge authors a fee for promoting their book out to their list. And so that's what a book promotion site is. So if you're launching a book or even like ongoing promotion, some authors pay book promotion sites to promote their book. Now, the book promotion sites generally want to be promoting discounted books. So some of them say you have to have a free book. Some say like a 99-cent book. Some it's like under $4.99. And so there are lots of different kind of ways to go about it. And so for me this week, I wanted to look through all of these sites and get a sense of like what they were like and what was going to work for me. And so, as always, my first task was to decide how I was going to evaluate the sites. That was like my very first task. How am I going to evaluate all this stuff, right? And so I went through, I don't know, at least a dozen. I had like 20 sites to look at, but I went through like at least a dozen of them. And so during that dozen, I decided like how I was going to evaluate them or like what my criteria was. And so the first thing I wanted to look at was the list size and my genre. So I wanted to make sure they actually had the genre I wanted. So it either had to be YA, young adult, or memoir. And then I wanted them to have like a list, at least a big enough list in that genre. So I wanted it to be genre specific. And then I wanted a good value. So if they had like a good sized list, I wanted the price to be a good value compared to the list. So I didn't, and most of them are, about the same and a good value. But it's interesting. Some of the book promotion sites actually, have this, like 2 book promotion sites will have the same list size, but one will be twice as much as the other. And because I don't have a track record with the expensive one. So, if you think about the risk factor, I've decided that I wanted to go with the ones that I thought would bring the best value for my dollar. So that was criterion number 2. And then finally, I wanted a site where it was like really clear, rules clear. I want to understand what I need to do and what I can expect in return for that. I didn't want to be it to be ambiguous or me to not understand exactly what I'm getting. So like good communication in their product descriptions, I guess, is what I was looking for. So list size, good value, good communication in expectations on my part and their part. That's what I was looking at. And I went through so many sites. It was crazy. And many of them have multiple options, including like daily emails or newsletters or blog posts or website spots and ratings and reviews. And, so a couple actually said, we'll rate your book for you. But of course, that comes with a caveat. One said, we'll only rate books we like. Another said, we'll rate your book, but don't expect a good rating. We'll rate it how we want to. And then some of them actually, there's one that said they'd review your book as well. I don't think that is a book promotion. I think of that as book review or paid book reviews. And that's something else I can look at maybe. Probably I won't go for a paid review, but I mean, I could check it out at some point, I suppose. So yeah. So that's what I was looking at. And then I wanted to I was looking at the price and how it correlated. So yeah, the price often correlates to the list size and the price of the book. So some of them say if it's free, it's this price. And if you discount it to 99 cents, it's a different price. And if you discount it to $1.99, it's yet a different price. And you'd be surprised because sometimes giving away a free book is the more expensive option because there's a lot of competition in giving away a free book. So they put up the price. And you might be thinking well, why would anyone give away their book for free, right? Well, I suppose if you're a new author and you're starting out and you don't have any readers and you don't have a following, it might be useful to give your book away, get some fans, hopefully get some reviews, get people talking about your book, create some buzz. And so that might be a good reason to do the free thing. The one thing is I was looking though, I was thinking, you want to you don't want to have it free one day and then $2.99 the next day. You want to think about how you're doing that. So if I do pre-launch sales at, let's say, $4.99, and then as soon as it launches, it goes free, the people who were loyal and bought the book at $4.99. So I think you really have to think about what you're discounting and when you're discounting it and how that'll work. So I think I've chosen 5. And what I think I'll do, and I'll tell you who I chose. I chose Free Booksy, Fussy Librarian, Book Raid, Book Cave, and Book Doggy. Now, all of these have specific lists for either YA, young adult, or memoir, except one, and that's Book Raid. And they all charge a flat fee except Book Raid. So what Book Raid does is it says, depending on the price of your book, so if your book is if you're giving it away for free, it'll cost you 15 cents a click. So you only pay when someone clicks through to your sales page. And so that's, they won't charge you more than $60. So if only 3 people click through, you pay 45 cents. And if 1,000 people click through, you only pay $60 because that's the limit. And so I thought that was interesting. They actually charge per click. So if you have a stellar sales page and hey, if people are landing on my page, they're going to buy this book, then that might be a really good way to go. And that's why I chose it. I thought I want to try that and see how that works. I kind of want to test that out, right? And so these are the 5 I chose. So together, all of them, if Book Raid does come to $60, all of them together, the book promotion launch budget would be $160, which I think is not much money when you think about book promotion. So yeah, I think that's a reasonable amount of money for book promotion sites. And so that's it. That's my book promotion revelation for the week. I thought it was really interesting to go through all of the books on not on my personal site where I talk about my book and where the blog will go for this particular recording, but on my Author Nation site. In the resources section, there's a page called Tools We Love, And what I did there was I listed out 10 book promotion sites. There are more, there are lots more, but I listed out 10. Now, they're not recommendations per se, but they are 10 that I thought looked, fairly good for nonfiction books. But again, you have to look and figure out what's right for you and what's right for your book if you're going through this same process. So that's about it for this week. That's what I did. Now, what am I going to do next week? I'm actually really enjoying just going to, I pick a day, a morning or an afternoon, and I go to my launch marketing plan and I pick an idea or an aspect of it, and I spend several hours just digging in and figuring it out. I've been really enjoying that process, and I'm going to keep doing that. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do next week, but it is going to be something book marketing related. And I will, next week, I will tell you what it was. I'll tell you how it went, and I'll tell you what I learned. Until then,